Greetings, everyone, and this is the Unconscious Brother coming to you with another episode of the Unconscious Brother Show. For today's topic, I wanted to touch on racism, and not just racism in the U.S., globally, because it's an issue. It's a very important topic. I feel like everyone kind of neglects, yet it exists, unfortunately, right? So it's almost as if the notion of coexistence is merely a mirage for people to play victim or pretend to actually want to coexist. And I only say play victim because only on times when there's a disturbance in society where someone does something of a different ethnic group and others use that opportunity to portray them in a light far less more dim than their own. And I say that because at the end of the day, everyone's human. And I'm not saying that as the lame excuse people use when something goes wrong and they need a bailout. Like, hey, I'm only human. You forgot to show up at my birthday party. I'm only human. Right? No, it's not like that. I mean, everyone actually has the same carbon makeup. Everyone has blood, eyes, teeth, mouth, ears, so on and so forth. Unless you're just someone who was unfortunate to be born with these things. However, the majority of people, should I say, are human, fully intact. I'm speaking to all people, though. Those who are fully intact with all their body parts and those who aren't, because everyone deserves the same proper amount of respect, which it all boils down to at the end of the day, respect. I'm a little baffled because from time to time I catch people doing things for their own agenda. Whether it be white, Asian, Chinese, Jewish, Hebrew, Anglo-Saxon, you name it. I find oftentimes people are doing things for their own agenda, and it saddens me because, again, what happens to the notion of coexistence? Are we truly trying to coexist? That's the question. Only you have the answer, right? I love everyone equally, despite your flaws, your ethnic, your background, your financial status. Everyone deserves the same proper amount of respect. However, if you look at society, you look at how people interact with one another, you can tell that these are not the things that are transpiring in today. Actually, these are not the things that were transpiring centuries ago. Hence, why people are the way they are now. And associate that with the fact that a lot of people just don't want change. Some people are just naturally born evil. Some are just natural born troublemakers, right? So you associate all that with the fact that human beings throughout time have been living amongst one another. And you've always had those outliers that wanted to do their own thing. Okay? Let's just pinpoint that for a second. The people who want to do their own thing, these are truly the ones that are causing the disturbances within every social element of the world. Because, again, at the end of the day, we all agree everyone's equal. Everyone's human. Everyone has the same basic necessities: food, water, shelter, occasional love, right? Some people may be introverted, some may be extroverted. So some may not require the same amount of attention from other people as some, which doesn't make them inhuman. It just means that they kind of dance at the beat of their own drum, right? Everyone still is the same, though. Everyone has the same necessities: food, water, shelter, love, reproduce. Outside of that, everything else is just chaos. So why is it? Why do we like to revert to chaotic measures instead of finding means to coexist? I see a lot of like anti-white things, anti-black things, and these are all, again, someone's personal agenda in work, right? Because anti-white, anti-black, how can that be? How can it be if you truly are a human being? We all truly have the same possibilities of genetic makeup. Meaning, okay, we may not all have the same amount of the same DNA structure. However, we all still possess the same likeness. Not appearance-wise. Scientifically, though, we all have a likeness about us. So why is it that these outliers like to cause trouble amongst the ranks of people? Is it a strategic play to keep everyone on their toes or in an uproar? Is it for world domination? Talk to me. I'd like to know, because aside from all these personal agendas that a lot of people are just making up, everything is all hunky-dory, if you ask me, right? I got a podcast. I spoke about this in the past. Just because I'm pro-black doesn't mean I'm anti-white. I feel like a lot of people are like that, right? Not that I particularly want to speak for everyone. I do feel like people, in a sense, have a longing to be a part of the masses. Maybe not so much in the sense of a celebrity status. However, I do feel like everyone wants to feel like they belong. In that sense. So, what is really going on with all these anti-white groups? You don't really see many anti-black groups. I have yet to see any actual anti-black groups. I mean, there are some that may be constructed to appear that way. However, anyone with a clear conscience, a decent vision, and can adhere to basic senses can tell. The majority of black people typically don't even harm others, people outside of their race. The way the modern black person is, right? I hesitate because that African American term just throws me off, right? That's a whole nother topic, though. I'll leave that one alone for now. But the typical black person residing in the United States, typically, instinctively, should I say, or based on how they were programmed, to generally just harm one another. So when I see things like, man, look at these thugs out here doing this, this, and this. Yeah, I mean, the black people may act a little rowdy at times, perhaps a little unacceptable for most, right? However, if we're being honest, you don't find too many black people going out to movie theaters and clubs and large events and doing all of these heinous mass shootings, right? Typically, black people just reflecting the disparity of their living conditions, right? Because no one wants to live in a poverty-stricken environment, or even if you're not a poverty-stricken, then you got the ones who perhaps are living in a better environment, yet they want to be influenced by those who are living in those poverty-stricken environments, right? So that's just a whole nother form of, again, programming, which doesn't take me from my point. I really don't see many anti-black groups. I really don't see many black people showing a strong hatred towards white people. Let's put it that way. Yet I am honest when I say I see a lot of black people targeted by white people who actually, in my honest opinion, don't have much reason to do so because, again, black people generally don't even bother nobody outside of their race. There are some rare occasions. It's not common, though. Again, everybody has those outliers within their community, within their age group, within their era or generation, should I say. Everyone has their own outliers within their ethnicity. However, again, this is going on the coexist thing. If we're going on the whole coexist thing, then that whole race theory is bullshit. Everyone should be the same. Again, we all have teeth, ears, eyes, nose, blood, chromosomes, atoms, so on and so forth. So, human being. Fuck all the other shit. However, for those who do want to just focus on the negative parts of life and just you're this, your eyes are slanted, you're Asian, your nose is big, you're whatever, right? So for people who want to focus on that, let's be honest, there's not really a lot of black people targeting white people for things that are considered racially motivated. I'm getting the opposite, though. I am getting the opposite, and it's baffling me. Why? Right? Why is it that the exact same people who have more are targeting the people who have less? And ironically, these people aren't this way because they chose to be. European ancestors who migrated, annihilated, and conquered the U.S. region of the world and other parts. We'll deal with that later. But, the forefathers of these same people who are behaving this way already set up a system to prevent black people from escalating to a certain level of thinking, social status, financial well-being. Luckily for some, they just were good at a craft, whether it be art, music. They just were gifted at something and were rewarded, right? That's what you do for people that you are trying to control. You reward them with things. It's not like they are always in a position to earn them equally. So you reward a few. So a lot of people, the majority of the black people aren't financially in the situation to better themselves or just are lacking the social, family, or just the structure in general to even want to do better.